Chapter 8. Ayurvedic Diet and Fasting to have a long and healthy life. Anyone who believes that anything can be suited to everyone is a great fool, because medicine is practiced not on mankind in general, but on every individual in particular. Henry de Mondeville. In Ayurveda, there are suggested eating habits that one should cultivate to stay healthy. Eating is defined in the science as something one simply needs to accomplish, but instead, an act that claims to nourish not just the physical body, but the emotion and soul as well. Here are examples of what can be considered as good habits in relation to eating. 1. Whenever possible, eat quality and fresh produce. 2. Eat whenever hungry and on time. Avoid binge eating. 3. Eat while eating. This simply means focusing on the act of eating and not watching television or checking one's social media accounts. 4. Eating not more than the amount of food one can hold in his two cupped hands. 5. Choosing food that is recommended for one's constitution. 6. Drinking when thirsty and not while eating. This is so to make sure that digestive enzymes are not diluted and agni or digestive fire is not suppressed. 7. Chewing at least 32 times before swallowing to allow digestive enzymes to work properly. 8. Not drinking iced drinks or hot drinks while eating. Awareness, knowledge, prevention. Knowing the cause and how to modify it. As mentioned earlier, Ayurveda isn't only concerned on how to treat a particular disease, rather, in treating the root cause of it. The key is awareness. Knowing one's body and being aware when something is amiss is a sure tip for preventing the onset of diseases. The important facets to be considered are the food that one eats, daily routine, season, triggers of allergies, and emotional condition. How to restore balance. There are things that are beyond one's control when it comes to their health. Examples are the seasons and constitution. But it is important to note that what one can do is to always restore balance. Eating junk food for a week causes imbalance in the body's nutrients. So does too much stress, emotional turmoil, and too much sitting. To restore balance, one should always make sure to do something that will counteract some damaging habits one already has, or make sure to modify what is already done. To do this, one may make sure to always have greens in his plate. Choose tea at times when the love for coffee is too strong. Making an effort to stand and stretch after every 2 hours, especially those who work for long hours in front of a computer, and avoiding negative emotions and thoughts. The importance of the space one lives in. When everything is in its place, chaos has no space to thrive. The same is true when it comes to people. Space is important for health. Physical space or homes have a lot of factors that affect one's well-being. Location, materials, airflow, and size needs to be considered. It is a good advice to have someone visit one's home and have their opinions matter. Sometimes, because of familiarity, one tends to overlook disease-causing factors in one's home. Examples are mold-breeding areas, damp wallpapers, unsafe construction materials, asbestos in the ceiling tiles, energy flow barriers, thick curtains, etc. If one takes the time to make his home a haven for health, then he is sure to reap the rewards. How to rejuvenate and rebuild the body and soul. Rebuilding what already has been damaged means knowing the root cause of what actually caused the damage. This starts from taking the time to know one's self and one's body and emotional triggers. Avoiding circumstances or food that aggravates one's health is also a wise move. When it comes to rejuvenation, it is important to remember that as we are one with the universe. This means we are made up of what also makes up the universe. Therefore, what may heal us is found in our environment. Fresh air, trees, sound of waves, humming of birds, fresh greens, root crops, water, etc. Let us make sure to acknowledge that healing is already in abundance around us and make sure to make use of it in reverence. How self-esteem and confidence affects overall health. Self-esteem stems from self-love. If we love ourselves, then caring for it and making sure that it is protected is sure to follow. This practice is the center of healing. It is when we start to be aware that our self-esteem is connected to our soul and spirit, healing takes place. To further understand the connection, let's take a look at cancer development. Cancer is like a battle between one's healthy cells and cancer cells. Cancer cells grow separate from the body and are like lost particles trying to build a new kingdom, for they have lost their wit. If one's self-esteem is low, cancer cells are sure to thrive. But if the opposite happens, then one's immunity will become strong enough to fight off new growths. Hence the importance of self-esteem and its relation to the whole body. Food guidelines for constitution types. Vata individuals. Best compatible with cooked cereals, grains, and whole wheat bread. Diet recommendation consists of 50% whole grains. Pitta individuals. Best compatible with foods like tempeh, tofu, chicken, turkey, raw milk, rabbit, and shrimp. Diet must consist of 50% whole grain and 20% protein. Kapha individual. Best compatible with boiled eggs, rye crackers, most beans, chicken, and turkey. Diet must consist of 40% whole grain and 20% protein. Please refer to the table below.